according to what Pat Robertson had to say a few days ago, I think he's trying out for the new 007 instead of the 700 Club. Wait until you hear what he had to say about the gays in San Francisco.
Excellent strength and perfect clarity is the 5x5.
All the ramifications of infection with AIDS. I used to think it was transmitted by saliva and other things. Now they say it may be sexual contact. So what you want to say, if you're driving an elderly man who's got AIDS, don't have sex with him. But that's a little too simplistic. I don't necessarily think you didn't get AIDS, so unless there's a cut or some bodily fluid transmission, I think you're not going to catch it, but it's a horrible thing, and I don't know what to say there. There are laws now. I think the homosexual community has put these draconian laws on the books that prohibit people from discussing this particular affliction. You can tell somebody they got a heart attack, you can tell them they've got high blood pressure, but you can't tell anybody they've got AIDS. They do in San Francisco, some of the gay community, they want to get people, so if they've got the stuff, they'll have a ring, you shake hands, and the ring's got a little thing where you cut your finger.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, it's that kind of vicious stuff, which would be the equivalent of murder.
So maybe Pat Robertson isn't trying out for the new James Bond role, but it could be the Lord of the Rings, because what he said about some quote-unquote gays in San Francisco that used to wear rings and they would cut somebody. Unfortunately, that's the biggest lie of all. Everybody, well, not everybody knows. There's some people that's not informed. You know, you have to have direct contact, blood to blood, blood to mucous membrane, blood to damaged skin, or be injected with the virus to contract AIDS. And this is just another way for Pat to put his gay rhetoric, hate rhetoric out there. And it's unfortunate because this whole conversation started out from somebody being upset because they was driving a man from a nursing home, supposedly. This they wrote in a letter to the 700 Club, and they was angry because no one informed them that the person was HIV positive. They was concerned if they had had an accident. But Pat was right on when he said, you know, if you don't want to get AIDS, don't sleep with a person with AIDS. Which that's true. That's true. But the person, it's so funny when you have people, even from this standpoint, if somebody's concerned, and I understand the concern, but even Jesus, you know, was with the lepers. You know, so I get so tired of the double standard, so tired of the hypocrisy that today's religion has put out there as the true, as God's word, as how God intended them to act. None of it's true. You know, I consider myself a Christian. You know, I believe in God. I believe in there's a bigger power that controls me, that it gives me autonomy. I do what I want to do, but my main goal is to be saved or have salvation and do right by everybody. You know, and it's all a working process. And I tell people all the time that if you believe in the Bible and if you believe logically, and this is as simple as I can put it, and this is what gets me through, there's no big or little sin. Sin is sin. There's a verse in the Bible that says, the wages of sin is death. No one's going to live forever. So, if you're going to die, and you will eventually die, you have sinned. You know, we are born into sin. So, if you look at it that way, and you think about what those words say, that means my sin. If you're talking about my sin being so horrible, I'm still going to die. So therefore, I die because of my sin. You're going to die. You did some sin, but I'm not pointing out what sins you're doing. If everything is, if you look at it and everything, you believe it 100%. You have to believe that. If you take anything else, you don't take anything else from the Bible, you have to believe that phrase. And that's what Christians sometimes we and I'm a gay man. I'm a gay Christian. I think sometimes we get caught up in religion and not Christianity, and that's the problem. That's my problem with today's religion. But anyhow, Pat, the person was upset, and so he gave the person some advice. But then he steps it up to to another level by saying that gay people use these rings in San Francisco, particularly, that would cut people, so that they would try to infect people like him and other religious leaders and activists, to get them. When he said to get them, it reminded me of that part in, I think Medea Goes to Jail, and she's talking to Dr. Phil, and he goes, he's like, well, why do you think you have to get people? She's like, if they get me, I got to get them, so I have to get them. There's the whole little get thing out of this, but that's what reminded me. I was like, to get them. Everybody's not perfect, and I guess it's a bad way to put it. There are some bad people out there. I know there are people, bad men, and this is straight and gay, that knowingly infect their partners, all the while knowing they are HIV positive. This is totally different from that. That's a sick individual that doesn't care about humanity, doesn't care about themselves or anyone else. Pat is putting out there that the gays are trying to infect in San Francisco people like him by cutting them with this ring. I would like to see this ring, because if such a ring in fact exists, it has to be a way to where the ring cuts the person and it cuts the person's hand you're shaking at the same time. So whatever. I was reading the Huffington Post earlier today, and it has a really good information, and it's like HIV, which is transmitted via infected persons by blood, semen, preseminal fluid, rectal fluids, vaginal fluids, or breast milk, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. These fluids must either come in contact with the mucous membrane or damaged tissue to be directly injected into the bloodstream for someone to be infected. That's what I said earlier. Talk about the draconian laws. A lot of states have partner notification laws on the books that makes an HIV positive person legally obligated to tell their partners of their status if they're having unprotected sex or any type of or protected sex, for that, even to tell that person that if they are HIV positive, they are supposed to inform that person of their status. And the thing is, AIDS doesn't affect, I have plenty of people that I know that are HIV positive. I know people who have died. And the thing is, it's gay and straight. Do I know more gay people with AIDS? Of course I do. But it doesn't matter. We're all in this fight together, and we're trying to get to a place to where we don't have that type of discriminatory behavior, not just towards gays, but towards gay men and straight men, women that are HIV positive, and we have to kind of take that stigma away. And another thing, a little quick story. My mother was at a funeral, I believe it was last Saturday, for a close friend of hers. And this was particular, I'm not even going to name the religion because I'm not going to give them any prompts here. The minister, they don't call themselves minister, but the person who was eulogizing my mother's friend, he went on from what she said, a gay rant. I'm like, there's no place for that in church. He even went as far as saying, asking the congregation, this is during a funeral, mind you, telling the congregation or asking the congregation, have they even seen how gay people have sex? Who cares? I mean, there's no other work there's no worse place than at a funeral to push out your anti-gay agenda. When I heard that, I was completely horrified that nobody in the church, not even my mother, said, but I guess, there's a time and place for everything. You should have picked your battles, and you don't want to disrespect the person being eulogized, even if the person who's eulogizing is absolutely off their rocker. So just respect the reason why you're there. But this is what they're going for. They're going after everything. And like I said, Pat Robertson, this is not the first time he's said anything about the gay community. He's said plenty of stuff, and it just, as long as we sit here and receive it, our people. And thing is, it's not for people who know. I know there's plenty of Christians and straight Christians that know that you may be a little bit off your rocker. If you heard the clip I played before I start talking, how the lady just was like, she was like, right. She was like, oh, this man is crazy. But anyhow, so I thought you guys wanted to hear what the Lord of the Rings Pat Robertson had to say. I guess it was on Tuesday. So if anybody finds one of those rings, I want to see it. I'm sure it's kind of futuristic, and it may be forged from the X-Men. We'll be interested in making a copy of it. We'll be right back. I am so in love with that song. That's from independent artist Alex Beroza. It's called "Put the Needle Down." I played it on another show. I think it was Real Talk with Day and Nikki the other day. But I'm just in love with that song. It's a good song. I don't know. I enjoy that one. But in other news, there's been so many things going on in the gay community this week. Walmart sent out postcards informing its employees that it will be extend its healthcare benefits to all their American workers, domestic partners, including those of same sex, starting January the 1st. That is huge. That is huge. Although there's a lot of employers out there that do have benefits for domestic partners, this is a little different because not only it's going to be same-sex partners, but also it's going to extend the benefits to heterosexual couples that are in domestic partnerships that aren't married. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Maybe I've seen that. Maybe you can have a +1 on your insurance. I've never been in a relationship that long to either be on someone's insurance or have them on my insurance. Although somebody did ask me one time to get on my dental plan, but I didn't do it, thank God. But I think that's kudos to Walmart because like they say, Walmart defines their domestic partners as spouses of the same sex or opposite gender. They must be unmarried partners who are not legally separated, who have lived together for at least 12 months, are not married to anyone else, are in an exclusive relationship and plan to continue sharing a household indefinitely. And that was Walmart spokesperson Randy Hargrove. Because different states have their definitions of what a domestic partnership is, but Walmart has kind of pushed the envelope and said, this is what we're going to say. So I applaud Walmart, although from what I've been reading, people are happy about it. The Walmart employees are happy about it because both my sister and my niece work for the company. My niece has worked for since she's been in college, and my sister, she's been working there for almost 20 years now, and she's in management. And so so she can extend her benefits to her. Well, she's unmarried, but she has a boyfriend, and they've been together for a long time. And then if my niece chooses to, I know people who work Walmart because they've been with the company for so long. Both of them, I know that will benefit a lot of locally, a lot of the employees locally if they choose to go their route. What I've been reading though, since Walmart is not the unless you're in management, my niece is a pharmacy tech. Unless you're making some decent money in Walmart, which the ability is there to do so, it's not really it may not even be affordable. So I think it's kind of a catch-22. When you're making under $8 an hour, can you afford a family plan on what you're making? You'd be working for the insurance, which it works for some people. So although I did read that UPS, because of the Affordable Health Care Act, they are going to stop providing insurance for spouses if the spouse is a full-time worker and can get their own insurance at their employer. So there's going to be so many things coming about with the Affordable Health Care Act, and then this Walmart thing on January 1st. I hope they, and we'll talk about this on Tuesday's show with Darla, Nikki, and I about wages. I've been thinking about it because there's a lot of things going on. There's the strikes from the McDonald's workers and things like that in the East. But can you really afford that, I probably could. I make a decent wage, just not, I'm not a millionaire by by any standpoint, but, so I guess everybody has to choose. I just think it's going to make other employees who don't offer this benefit to their same-sex couples, but not only. So this is what they're doing. For me, it shows we're all equal, and I think they're putting everybody on an equal plane. So whether you're gay, in a relationship, or you're straight, you don't really believe in the constitution of marriage, or you're not married but you're with somebody and you have a household together, that you make the same benefits for those people as well. So I think that's a good thing that Walmart's doing. And last but not least, another thing I heard on television, I did some research, the U.S. government, the U.S. Department of Treasury and the Internal Revenue Service ruled that same-sex couples legally married in jurisdictions that recognizes their marriages will be treated as married for federal tax purposes. That's huge as well. The ruling applies regardless of whether the couple lives in a jurisdiction that recognizes same-sex marriage or a jurisdiction that does not recognize same-sex marriages. And so what this means is, say for instance, you marry your husband, or you get married to your partner in an area where same-sex marriage is legal, but you happen to live in an area where it's not legal, federally, your marriage will still be recognized by the federal government. That's awesome. That's big. And it's also retroactive back to 3 years, I believe. As of, from what I've seen, is can still be filed for taxes 2010, 2011, 2012. So for 3 years prior to now. So retroactively, that'll go back and take care of those people who were in marriages that were where they were married legally in a jurisdiction where that was legal for same-sex couples to be married. I know people are going to go crazy about this, but it's only fair. So many places on the state level have been trying to block the legalization of same-sex marriages and not extend benefits, but the federal government has taken a stance and they're saying this is what we're going to do, and you can't stop it. So way to go, government, on that. But that's all the time we have for today. Hope you found some information. As always, thank you guys for listening. This is Real Talk, and I will see you next time.
For a limited time, buy one DVD and get one free at www.shop.com. Also, shop back to school tees, shorts, accessories, and packages now available. Not valid on box sets or the best of WWE. Check out recycleblogtalk.blogspot.com for this great deal and more, and click the affiliate link.
Check us out on Facebook at The 5x5, or tweet us at The 5x5, or go to Recycle Blog Talk for past shows. Thanks for tuning in.